Welcome back, everybody. Here we are on the Taylor. Got the steer cylinder all stuck back in here. I have just a rough adjustment in there. I'm gonna have to do a little steering, make sure it stops appropriately and doesn't oversteer, otherwise you can bend the rod real easily, or you can end up steering short and never hitting your stops, even though that looks homemade as frig. Anyways, yeah. Let's get this fired up now that I can move it, and we're gonna get this carriage remounted again. That's the goal. A little bit of a summary here what this video is about. Up in the corner there's a link to the playlist. That way you can see the rest of this video to get caught up to where we're at now. I'm gonna go ahead and put the rollers on the carriage, get the carriage mounted, get the chains put back on. Going to rebuild the control valve that's leaking, which is what you see me playing with right here. Going to get the steer cylinder repacked and put back into the machine. And then the side cover on the engine that was leaking, we'll get that completed. And this truck will get done and get ready to get sent back to the customer. So buckle in and get ready to fix some stuff-ish. Alright, so I ran into an issue where this pump or filter housing isn't made anymore. It's a Gresson something. Anyways, they don't make that no more. And we tried finding the seals for this, which are these guys right here. Can't find those anymore. So then we ordered these, which was like the next closest size. They fit on here, but they're too thick. So when the housing goes to go on, it just bottoms out on it. I took it up to another place. They found me a proper O-ring that fits and engages it pretty well. And then the next complication is the standpipe that goes inside of here. Has a gasket down here. Can't get these anymore. They do make some kits that have similar. It's more of like a paper. So I had some gasket material, bulk gasket material, and I hand cut these out. So I should be able to, in theory, get this on here without tearing it. I went ahead and took the liberty of cutting it. That way you guys didn't have to watch me cut it. Because this is a repair channel, not arts and crafts. You may be surprised to know, sometimes you gotta be certified in arts and crafts to be able to do this kind of stuff. Okay, so I got that on there. Got the spring tossed in there. There we go. Get that going down. Get this on this guy. Get this old gasket taken off of here without stabbing myself, preferably. Put the new O-ring on. Take this old girl. There we go. Okay, so I got this all mounted up. New gaskets, new filters. You got new flange O-rings put in. Got her all mounted up. We're gonna fire her up and see if she leaks. All right, we got her fired up. That part's done. All right, let's go back inside, warm up a little bit, and do a little steer cylinder rebuild. There are a few imperfections. A few dings. I don't know if you can see that. Probably sand on those a little bit. Take down the likelihood of it failing. Take all our seals here and take a look. And if you guys don't have a habit of doing this, you really should start just prior to doing a rebuild or taking something apart. Take out your new parts, set them out, look at them, make sure you have everything, make sure everything's in good order before you really get deep into your project. So a flat back up there, and then my O-ring. Flat backup mainly just takes up the spacing, and then the O-ring always faces the oil. Then this is your main seal or compression seal. If it wasn't for this little O-ring that's in here, if it wasn't for this little O-ring being in here, this would have like a U-cup, and the U-cup always faces the oil. So this is the gland seal, which goes into it like that. Therefore the U-cup faces down. And if you're new to rebuilding cylinders, take your time. No rush, and it's a hell of a lot harder to get them back out and put them back in again without damaging them a second time. So I've got it almost in there. Gotta push this last little piece past there, get it fitted in, and you can see we're in there just fine. And this piece is the wiper. Sometimes these have like a U-cup to them, but this mainly just makes sure the rod gets cleaned. So usually the lip is facing up to repel outside material. When the rod goes in and out, it'll peel away the material. And that faces towards the debris side or the outside. Just make sure that fits in there nice and good, nice and gooder. Just like that. Okay, so this piece is rebuilt. Now this one is kind of unique because it's got oil coming in from either direction, and these seals do have U-cups to them. And they face opposite because you want to seal oil this way to push the cylinder that way. But you also want to seal oil from the other side when it's pushing it the other way. So when you put this on, there is a right and wrong way, but you want the U-cup facing out that way and that way. And this is how this goes on here. There's a nice flat surface there where this side doesn't have it, plus this is for the installation. But that'll ride on this O-ring right there. So I still have to get this old one off here. And if you don't recall from the last video, linked up here in the corner, I got the wrong kit twice. And that's partially why I keep old seals, just in case it's unobtainium, or I have to take the seals somewhere else and get custom seals or custom kits put together so I can reseal this. So I just do that. And because I know I got the right one, just, just like that. Because now I know I have the right seal kit, all the old stuff can get thrown away. So now, got nice lubed up. I have a feeling it's going to be a blast. So I couldn't get those seals on, so I got some hot water, getting up the temperature, hopefully makes them a little more pliable. And the other issue is I can't hold on to it good enough. So we gotta remember, faces the outside. The oil on it. Definitely feel more pliable, that's for sure. There we go. That was not fun. And bent my tool. I need to make like a soft jaws adapter to hold round things, because this is really hard to hold in here. Okay, got it. Good lordy. That was super not fun, but she's on. And we wheel this on here until that flat spot meets that Allen screw through the machine part here, because that's what seats on here. So there's not actually like a tight to this. It's just until it gets on far enough that you can seat that set screw. them lined up. And we'll go ahead and get this cinched up here. Okay, that's in. And then lube my rod. Put that on there. Okay. Yeah, lubed in there a little further in than last time. I'm sure there's a loader to put these in, but the way the chamfer is set up and the way that the seal goes in there, I'm just having to kind of roll the base of the seal past the opening. I'm using a blunted pick there to just kind of help ease it in there. Once you get it past the lip of the tube, you can shove it in there pretty easily. Okay.
I'll have to check it tomorrow, but it's probably welded on.
Alrighty, got all my steering adjustments done. Got my pinch bolt put in. I was within about a turn of being properly adjusted, and then I'll have to wash all this off here when I'm done, but that part's in. Got all my steering adjustments done. My nose?
It's my ass.
Say hi, Logan.
Hey. Hey, guys.
Jason, say hi.
Hey, guys.
Work with a bunch of weirdos.
Calling the kettle black, ain't
Well, if you forgot all the work that I put in to get to this point, here's a video link up in the corner. Yeah, that excessive clearance, not good. So ordered new clamshells, needed 3 of the 4, and we're gonna press bearings in.
Yeah, it's an icon. 12 millimeter. What? 12 millimeter icon.
What?
She calls my stocking hat a beanie.
It's because it is a beanie. Alright, so it's sitting out of the rain a little bit of moisture. We're gonna just gonna emery cloth these off real quick. And then kind of zip around the edge. Make sure it's nice and clean. Make sure it's nice and clean, that way I don't get it on there all cockeyed or something like that. That's all cleaned up. Around these edges real quick. Okay, that's kind of a Scotch-Brite pad. Focus. Yeah, it's kind of a Scotch-Brite pad. I'm just rounding over the edge. It takes a little bit of metal off, not much. Focus. Focus. So now, kind of a light lubricant on there for nothing else, just to prevent additional rusting on the grease, because I put sealed bearings in here. These are never going to be greased again. And then these have a proper way to go on. You can see there's a heavier taper on one side than the other. This always goes outside part of the mast rails. Hole looks fine. I gotta clean out the groove in this one. It's a little boogery. But that one is on and done. We're ready to install this beast. The most hysterical thing of this entire project is this right here. So just driving up and lining up the mast to drop into the carriage. I know everything's heavily edited, but I actually did it first try on this one, which was hysterical because I planned on just driving up, getting close, and then getting someone to help eyeball me into the right place. I realize now from this angle it's kind of hard to tell what I'm doing, but I've left myself in neutral and just kind of wiggling the mast back and forth while holding down. And here I'm trying to get the inner mast rail to go over the carriage rollers so it fits down and in. Alrighty, so it's back in, but I have to lift up the carriage a little bit because the chains don't have enough length to get up and over, so that's going to be the tricky part. we're that blocked up where you can get the chains in. So we're gonna lift these chains back up in the hole. Can't guess. Cold today. Cold and windy. Ideal for outside work. Anyways, it's good work. So where I left off, so I had to pump out oil for the hydraulic tank. Unfortunately, the return hose from the control valve is, see if we can follow that sucker. It goes to the bottom of the tank and there's no shutoff valve, so I had to drain this stupid thing. It was low on oil and it still took 55 gallons to empty it. Anyways, we got the spools hanging out. Give you kind of an idea how these sit in there. So there's a chamfered relief and a backup ring and then this plate. So when you push this together, it will squeeze all this and seal the end of it. Kind of like that. So you gotta take the other side off, which you don't have to, but it helps. I left this one intact so you can kind of see how those seals sit inside there. Eek. So I put this in the parts washer and get some of the film off of the parts washer. Just brake clean. Over here you hear the parts washer running. So this is obviously the part that pulls in and out. This would be the bottom of the spool. And kind of like we've talked about many times before, the O-ring always faces the oil, and that's why on the bottom side, because this is the spool, you see the O-rings first because that's facing the oil. This is also somewhat of a seal, but it's kind of a backup ring as well. It's compressible. That's what this compresses against. Take that off, and we'll take our backup plate off, and then we're going to inspect this for damage, which I already kind of looked at it. And you can very easily get your fingernail in this part. So I'm going to try to polish that out just a little bit, not a lot. I'm just trying to keep the O-ring in good condition as long as possible. Got some 240 grit emery cloth. You don't want to take too much off, otherwise it won't seal very good. I'll also try and take the edges off of it. And just try to polish it somewhat evenly. This brake clean dries very quickly. Let's see what that looks like. This is where the upper seal rides. So you still have areas that you can get your fingernail in, and you're not going to get that out the way this is. But I took the sharp edges off of it. Hopefully it lasts just slightly longer. I might just hit a little bit of all of this, just barely. Again, don't want to take too much off of it because hydraulics are metered leaking, and this machine surface has X tolerance inside that valve. I don't want to take away from that, but I also want to make sure I got smooth operation. So like I said, just a very light single pass on it. Okay, that's all we're gonna do. So basically, this right here is what rides on the seal. This rides on the seal. The rest of this is inside the spool. It's just machine surface to machine surface. That's why we don't want to take much off of this. This, we're not as critical because the O-ring will seal to it. We could take a little bit more off of it, be a little more aggressive, but that's all the more I plan on doing. It's windy out here, so hopefully I don't lose all my freaking seals. Yeah, we're just gonna light film oil all over this thing. And we need a backup ring and a O-ring. And if you guys recall from when I said it was 10 minutes ago, for you guys it's probably like 37 seconds. But the spool goes in the valve this way, so therefore the oil is in the middle. Backup ring will go on first. There we go. See, I knew I could do it. Okay, that one's on. This one should be easier. That one's on. Now we're gonna go put this in there. There's our opening that we're sealing. So I'll stick this in here nice and careful. Okay, got that in there. Take our cap seal here. That started. Maybe. Anyways. Okay, that's all in. Got these all pre-lubed, but the O-ring goes on first because that's going to face the oil, then the backup ring, then the plates. Alrighty, so got all my spools back in, resealed. Got all that crap tightened back up. New bolts because the ones they had in there were like 10 feet too long. So hard to see all that, but yeah, it is all in and done. Yep, all resealed. Just shot in the backside there. Yeah. So this is so messy that this is so messy, I'm gonna power wash this out. Just brake clean is not gonna work. I still have to fish my wires through this conduit. We'll do that right now. And then our apprentice here, he kind of left this half not finished. This side cover got resealed because it was leaking. Didn't videotape any of that because he needed something to do, and I gave him something to do, and it's... Hey, if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. I don't ask for this much, but if you could please like, subscribe, share. Just trying to grow the channel a little bit and bring you guys some better content. Another line across here, lift pump hose, and then coolant line, all that kind of stuff needs to go back on. So yeah, it's time to get that done. So got pretty much finished up on what my coworker started. Got my fuel line, return line hooked back up, supply to the filter back on. I had to get a new chunk of hose for the downdraft tube. Got that cooler hose back on. I'm at the top off the coolant a little bit. Yeah, fill up the coolant and fill up hydraulic oil. Give this baby a whirl. We're about there. All right, there we go, folks. She be done. No leaks. Hydraulic fluid's up. She is ready to go. I just gotta do a little power washing, you know, a little mess. We'll get her cleaned up. Get her back out the door. All the taller she goes. She's a big girl though. Love that chrome stack, baby. Yeah. And we'll see you guys next time on Fixed Ish.